This is the VELOWAVE Ranger 2.0 electric bike, a burly, black, 26-inch fat tire e-mountain bike with a chunky 6061 aluminum frame, an integrated 48-volt battery tucked into the down tube, and massive 4.0-inch Kenda tires that give it a tough, planted stance. The look feels modern and clean, with cables routed neatly and a front suspension fork that sets the tone for what this bike is about. Stable, confident riding on pavement and rough surfaces alike. From my experience, the first impression is that it looks like it's built to take a beating, and the ride backs that up. Key features that stand out to me are the BAFANG 750-watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1200 watts, the removable 48-volt 15 Ah LG cells battery, the hydraulic front suspension with a lockout, and dual hydraulic disc brakes. The Shimano 7-speed drivetrain uses a trigger shifter, which I prefer for precise gear changes. The LCD display is basic in a good way, large, readable in bright sun, and easy to use. I also like that this model comes with a rear cargo rack, which makes it more commuter-friendly out of the box. In my opinion, this setup gives you the essentials you actually feel on the road: power, control, and comfort. On the performance side, the Ranger 2.0 is strong where it matters. Pedal assist, which means the motor helps only when I pedal, pulls hard and smooth up to Class 3 speeds. I've hit around 28 miles per hour on flat ground with pedal assist, and hill starts feel easy compared to a regular bike. The thumb throttle, which lets me move without pedaling, tops out around 20 miles per hour. It's handy in traffic or when I'm tired, though it's not as punchy as pedal assist from a standstill. The throttle is on the left side, which felt odd to me at first because I'm used to right-hand throttles. But after a few rides, I didn't think about it anymore. The 26x4.0 Kenda fat tires are a big part of why this bike feels so planted. Fat tires mean a large contact patch, which translates to better grip and cushion. Paired with the hydraulic front fork, mine has a lockout switch to stiffen up the fork for efficient road riding. The ride smooths out bumps, gravel chatter, and curb drops better than I expected. I often describe the feeling as floating over broken pavement or dirt. It's not light, and it's not nimble like a traditional trail bike, but it's very stable and confidence-inspiring on sketchy surfaces. The brakes deserve a call-out. Dual hydraulic discs give firm, predictable stopping power with little hand effort. That matters on a 73-pound e-bike that can reach higher speeds. Braking stays consistent in wet conditions, and the levers have a nice solid feel that helps me modulate on steep descents or when a car stops short. Let's talk battery and range lane terms. The 48-volt 15-hour pack equals roughly 720 hours of energy, which is a healthy size for a fat tire e-bike. VELOWAVE rates it up to 65+ miles using pedal assist, depending on terrain and rider input. From my experience, my real-world range is often 25 to 45 miles on mixed routes, with hills, stops, and a decent dose of throttle. When I ride gently in lower assist levels and keep my speed in check, I can stretch it further. Charging is straightforward with the included charger. I typically see a full charge in about 4 to 5 hours. The battery is lockable and removable, so I can bring it inside to charge, and the fitment in the down tube looks clean and keeps weight centered. As for comfort, this is one of the smoother e-bikes I've ridden at this price. The upright position and fat tires soak up fatigue, and I've had no issues staying comfortable on longer rides. The stock saddle is fine for me, firm but not punishing, but seats are always personal. The grips feel good, though for my hands I wouldn't mind a little more length toward the bar end. Small tweaks like swapping grips or adding a suspension seat post could dial it in further, but I was satisfied out of the box. Where you feel the compromises is weight. At around 73 pounds, it's heavy to lift onto a car rack and not something I want to carry upstairs. With the power off, it pedals like a heavy bike, totally manageable on flat ground, but sluggish on climbs. That's the trade-off for big tires, a tough frame, and a large battery. If you plan to ride with power most of the time and keep it on the ground, it's fine. If you need to shoulder it or store it upstairs, think twice. The drivetrain is straightforward and gets the job done. 7 speeds give me enough range to climb moderate hills and cruise at speed. Shifts are positive with the trigger shifter, and I like the simplicity. There's less to fiddle with, and it matches how I actually ride an e-bike, where the motor takes the sting out of steep grades. For truly steep off-road climbs, I still need to help the bike with a solid cadence, and there are moments where I'd like a slightly lower gear, but the motor torque covers a lot of gaps. The LCD display shows speed, assist level, trip distance, and battery, which are the key readouts I need. I can change among 5 assist levels, and each step up makes a noticeable difference. The on-bike headlight is fine to be seen, but on unlit trails I add a brighter handlebar light so I can see farther ahead. The included bell is basic. I swapped mine for a louder one. My bike came with the rear rack, which I use for a small pannier, super useful for a lock, charger, and lunch. Fenders are optional. I recommend them if you commute in wet weather. Assembly was easy. The bike comes mostly pre-built, and with the included tools it took me under an hour to get rolling. The packaging protected everything well. I always check bolts and brake alignment after the first few rides as things settle in. That's just good practice on any new bike. Reliability has been solid for me over the majority of my miles. But I have had hiccups. One time I triggered a motor error after I rushed a wheel reinstall. Support got me back on the road in minutes on a weekend call, which was great. Another time I had a battery issue early on, and the back and forth took longer than I wanted, with a bit of a language hurdle. VELOWAVE says they cover 2 years on electrical components and offer lifetime tech support, and they list over 50 offline repair locations in the US, which is reassuring. In my opinion, the ownership experience is strong when everything works, and support can be helpful, but patience may be required if you land on a complex issue. It's perfect for riders who want a single e-bike that can handle paved commutes, rail trails, gravel, sand, and winter slush without drama. I use it for daily errands, weekend adventures, and exploring routes I wouldn't try on a skinny tire bike. The stability lets me relax and enjoy the ride, and the power makes longer trips feel short. I'd recommend this for commuters who don't need to carry a bike upstairs, recreational riders who value comfort and traction, and anyone curious about fat tire riding who wants strong performance without paying premium brand prices. From my experience, the few things to keep in mind are the heft, the throttle's gentler feel compared to pedal assist, and the possibility you may want to upgrade a couple small touch points like the bell or grips. None of those are deal breakers for me because the foundation, the motor, brakes, battery, and frame feels right. The bike rides like a tank in the best way, steady, forgiving, and fun. In conclusion, the VELOWAVE Ranger 2.0 delivers a lot of value where it counts. The 750-watt BAFANG motor with a 1200-watt peak gives real punch, the 48-volt 15-amp-hour LG battery provides practical range, the hydraulic brakes inspire confidence, and the fat tires plus suspension make rough paths feel smooth. It's not a lightweight climber or a compact folder. It's a comfortable, capable all-terrain e-bike that makes me want to ride more often and go farther than I planned. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own experience with the Ranger 2.0 in the comments. Thank you for watching.